What do you think?
And bitch, I'm healthy as hell.
I don't know about all that.
Girl, don't even try to hold me like just because you're using a little workout websites don't mean nothing.
I'm fit now. What do you mean?
You mean obesely fit? So no,
Ooh.
playing. I'm just playing. It's like,
You know what? End of this episode.
jaydaanddeedee PODS.
All right, hey listeners, it's been a while since we had an episode on here, but JD Pods is back. So as you can see, we're changing it up a little more. Well, we're changing it up, doing more than just music topics. And today we're here to talk about technology. So let's dive into it. So according to an article from CNN, Americans devote 10 hours a day to screen time. So to a lot of people, it arises many questions for us as Americans. How much screen time is enough, and is technology all good for us? What do you think?
Girl, I'm addicted. Okay? Let me tell you. So, I go on Instagram like an hour and a half every day. I check my screen time, right? I got an hour and a half on Instagram every single day. Now, on a new update, I know this was a recent problem because on the new update for iOS 11, they had this new thing in the settings called screen time, and it tell you exactly what apps you have the most screen time. I'm about to check and see which one I got. Last time it was YouTube. I don't know how many hours, but it was a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I know that I have recently got that with my new phone, and it tells me like every single week, it tells me like how much the time varied from how I use my phone, and you know, the hours. It just keep increasing.
So recently we had a lot of snow in Virginia, right?
Right.
And so I've been doing a lot of work on social media, which is a reason. That's a good excuse. Okay, I got work. Like all these beats and shit. I stay on social media. Like social media is my job. Okay, but yeah, I got 8 hours and 4 minutes today. It's 8 minutes above average.
That's a whole school day.
3 hours on social media, 2 hours on entertainment, 55 minutes on games. Like, look, let me tell you, most use 2 hours on YouTube, an hour and 35 on Instagram, an hour and 9 on Snapchat. I use Snapchat like that? That's crazy. 50 minutes on choices. That's my game. Oh, that's the game. I spent 5 minutes on Fun Run and 50 minutes on choices. If y'all don't have that game, it's like that. It's like episode, but with no people.
Ain't nobody. Alright, so for mine, I got 6 hours and 31 minutes per day, which I decreased. Exactly, I decreased 7% from last week. I got 10 hours on Snap, 6 hours on Instagram, 5 hours on messages, 3 hours on trivia crack,
You're looking
1 hour on workouts. On today, I got 50 minutes on Snapchat, 40 on Safari, 30 on Google, 30 on messages, 20 on YouTube, and 20 on trivia crack, 14 on workouts.
Well, girl, look, I got 8 hours and 60 minutes for this week. 4% down from last week.
Okay, so technology and its effect on our health. What do you think?
And bitch, I'm healthy as hell. No, but for real, honestly, it just depends on the person, who you are. Like, some people, like people that constantly like to hate on people, as we call them, trolls in this generation. Like, I'm not in this generation, I am in this generation. But yeah, the trolls out there, then no, social media is not healthy. That you can physically, mentally, and emotionally hate on other people on purpose for your amusement. That is not healthy for anybody. Nobody should be hating on people on purpose. And honestly, it's a 50-50. Like, it just honestly depends on who you are as a person, what you do for a living, how you handle things personally, and how connected you are with the world.
I agree, and it does boil down to like the type of person you are. Like, what do you use it for? Because you said earlier that you use like most of your time on your phone and stuff was like, you know, for your business, because you know you do stuff like
Right.
to help your career. But then if you're like the opposite, like if you're a person that just goes on there to post on Instagram and, you know, troll somebody or just, you know, show yourself in an image, even if you're not that person for real, like, you know, that's when people try like changing up their images and, you know, switching their personalities and showing somebody that there's somebody that's totally different from them in real life. They just be catfishing sometimes, personality and facial wise.
Yeah, like it just really depends on what you do, because honestly, like being productive on social media and just like looking on social media are two completely different things. So honestly, it just depends on what you're doing. So since this generation is low-key changing, everybody on their phones, and we talking about being productive on social media, how do you feel about people not going to college anymore?
People not going to college. Well, I feel like since technology is evolving in so many different ways, that people just always try to find like a way around what's like the normal for Americans in our society. Like people like, you know, people want to be YouTube stars instead of going out and getting a degree in something like useful. Like people rely on Google for diagnostics, you know, like people just are changing their morals and values of what was tradition for other people back in the days.
Now, I'm not saying that college is not useful. I'm not saying that, because if you're trying to be a doctor and you're not going to college, like you are not going to be my doctor. Like, sorry, like there are just certain things that we need education for. You know what I mean? Like
there are some things you cannot look up on YouTube.
Right? Okay, like trying to break somebody open. Okay. So being a doctor,
how to do a liver transplant.
Right. Like, if you're gonna be a doctor, go to college. If you're gonna be like a social worker, go to college. If you're gonna be a electrician, go to college.
At the end of the day, it's like you find out what you want to be and you find that route. Like even if it is through YouTube videos or whatever, you find who you want to be, but not do something because everybody else is doing it. And I feel like technology, back on the topic, technology is like moving our values and bringing us to be a different person. Like it's like inspiring us to be the same, because you know everybody wants to be one thing. Everybody wants to choose an easy way, like we were talking about in our last episode. Everybody wants to be a producer or a rapper because, you know, it looks cool and people are making money from it, or at least that's what Google tells them or whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, it's not that.
The crazy part about it is that people don't realize, like, okay, it's easy for the people that are already on the top. Like everybody that own a business that's popping, like people on Forever 21 and, you know, Fashion Nova and Champion and all the rappers and artists that be like, I be staying at home, I be chilling, I get to get up when I want to get up. But before that, they didn't have that luxury. So no, it's not easy. Of course it's easy now because they've already put in the work and they've seen the results. But
exactly, and that's what some people don't show, that they hide behind the computers. Like they hide like what's really happening behind the scenes. They make things look easier, or sometimes they even do the opposite and make things look harder. Like, you know, they try to create an image.
Right. So honestly, college is easy way. That 9-to-5 job is easy.
Exactly. So Jada, what do you think about like how social media changes like information, like the fake news?
Like back in like 2000, like we was like middle schoolers, like 2000, I don't know, 11 or whatever. Like stuff was more trustworthy to me, at least. Like, but now that we're in this time where everybody trying to get a bag, you don't know what to trust no more. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of celebrity stuff is fake. Like, I don't know if you saw that video, but there's like a video. You know that Travis Scott picture of him cheating on Kylie Jenner?
Yeah.
It was fake. Like, it's a whole YouTube video, and they staged it. They staged that whole shit, and everybody on the news like CNN, all the little YouTube news places, they was all like, I'm probably real and all that, but it wasn't even him. It's just somebody that died their brains.
So you remember back in like early 2000s, like it was like 2008, 6 or 12. It was one of those things. I don't remember. But remember when everybody was scared because somebody said the world was going to end or something?
Yeah.
And yeah, like things like that. It can be real big, real small. It can be like to select a group of people or whatever. But you know, this fake news, when it gets out there, people really believe it because, you know, they believe everything they see on the internet or whatever. Because that's just how, like, some of us grew up, like, always believing in technology. And if we bring it to a more real world thing, we could think like in class, you know, when we doing papers and stuff, and teachers are like, "Oh, don't use Wiki."
I was watching this weekend, and then it ain't come out until like 3 months later.
But yeah, that's a real good example because it really does show how people really believe this stuff just because somebody wrote it up there. Like, people don't check for sources or none of that. And I feel like we're focused on the negatives here. So since we're getting into negatives, then let's talk about cyberbullying. And you were hitting on this earlier. So what do you think? Like, how do you think cyberbullying and those negative trolls and people affect life today?
It's a two-way street. So, like, I feel like I really do feel bad for celebrities because they always have somebody talking about them. Like, it don't matter if you going to a charity or some shit, they gonna be like, oh, she's trying to do it for views, or like somebody trying to live their life, period. And people always got something to say. But the crazy part about it is that, would you ever say that to somebody's face? Like, what makes it right for you to say it online if you're not gonna say it to their face? Like,
that's a real big point. Yeah, I agree with that because I feel like technology and the way it evolves, it influences people to believe like they are big and bad when in reality. And you know, it just gives feeling like they can do things, but only when they behind the keyboard. Do you feel me?
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy. And I know it really do affect some people. But honestly, when you're an influencer, or you an artist or whatever, got a big following, you just gotta get thick skin. Like, as they say, the people that hate are normal people with no profile pics, and they're nobodies. So obviously you worried about them for no reason. Period.
So did you see the movie Cyberbully? It was on Netflix for a while. But anyways, if you haven't seen that movie, viewers and listeners, then you should give it a watch. It really shows how it impacted, and it's a kind of an old movie, not really, but yeah, it shows how, you know, it is not trash. So since that's a lot of cons, let's talk about the pros. So, well, I would say social media connects people. Like, you know, me and you right now, we're talking over the internet because we keep here right now. So,
yo, look, there are so many pros to social media. They outweigh the cons, I think, for now. Anyway, yeah, social media and just technology in general. Now, I do think they're going a little too far with them robots. Like,
I was just about to bring that up too. We're gonna get back to that.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that because I have two things to say. Like, y'all can shut up. Anyways, social media. Okay. Social media, honestly, like when it was first, like it has such a great message behind it that you can contact your friends and family anywhere you want, no matter where you are in the world. Social media helps so much, not only to connect you with people that you love, but it also connects you business-wise. Like before, in the 1990s and 80s, and just any time before that, you really had to do a lot of what they call groundwork, as in you have to physically come up to people, physically beg people, which you still have to do to a certain extent, but not far as much as you used to have to do it. So now you can build your own following just by being consistent. You can hit people up that are already influencers. You can do anything. Like, it's so accessible now for you to be who you want to be in life, which makes no excuse for you not to be able to be or reach your dreams.
Exactly.
Because if it was a time where no songs were, you would have been given up by now. There would be absolutely no chance. So why are you sitting on your ass? Okay, that's just my rant right there. But yeah, social media helps a lot if you're trying to follow your dreams, for real.
You sounded motivational. But I know you heard, like, there's a lot of songs out there where people talk about, like, you know, those old songs where people talk about, like, when they were selling their mixtapes or CDs or whatever from corner stores and back to streets and all that, you know, just putting them everywhere. Even though people still do that today, social media does help out with getting you out there. Like, social media gives everyone an equal voice. Like, people who aren't really that social in person, you know, everybody can have that voice and express their opinion in some type of way, whether it's on a blog, on a video, on an audio, whatever. People now have a easy way to express themselves.
Yeah, that and, like, not to make this about music or nothing like that, but like back in the day, you had to have a label, but now you can do whatever you want. Like,
right.
You don't need nobody to be a helping hand. You can make your own team. You can do your own shit. You can be independent. Okay? You don't need nobody.
Y'all know that we are music people, so it's always going to relate to music somehow to us.
But can you talk about these robots?
Oh, yes. Let's get on the topic of the robots.
I'm getting this generation ready for what's coming in 2030.
Okay, so on the topic of the robots, you all know that technology is continuously advancing. And so just like back in the days when we had the space race, trying to see who get in space first and all that, we are still, you know, battling other countries today with technology. And currently we are battling them in creating the whatever most best technology. And that includes humanoid robots, like making them like human, like, you know, they are like looking like humans and being able to do things that we can. So Jada, what are your thoughts on these robots and all that?
Okay, so I like conspiracy theories and I believe that. Period, I do. Point blank period, I believe that shit. So let me tell y'all, don't quote me, but there's a game called Detroit, and it's basically a game about, like, it's like 2030, right? It's basically Detroit. I mean, it's fucking called Detroit. Anyways, so it's a game based on like 2030, and I guess it's a time where like robots like officially come out, and so like they can be a little maids or whatever, and they can do whatever you want them to do. And so they basically kind of have rights as like how black people had rights, you know, back in the day. Like, you know, they had to sit on the back of the bus and we had to use certain water fountain. Like, it was the same exact shit, except they're robots. Like, which makes it, but it was basically kind of like they were protesting so that they had their own rights. And the difference between black people protesting and robots protesting is that they're smart. And I'm saying black people not smart, but we the same race. Like, we not gonna get any smarter than white people. You know what I mean? But robots are like a whole different race. And so the game basically prepares you what really gonna happen, because at the end of the day, robots come out and they basically humans that are maids to humans or whatever. They not gonna like that shit, because y'all programmed them to be like humans. You programmed them to be like us. So they're programmed to have feelings, and they're programmed to feel some type of way. So they're gonna be trying to protest and shit. And then they ass gonna be the end of the human race, because they don't like our motherfucking ass. Because y'all stupid asses wanted to put them on the back of the bus and shit, and they fed up. And so when that shit happened and y'all bitches dead, don't include me, because I'm finna be friends with my robot. My robot finna be my best friend, okay? You wanna go outside and play in the park with them humans? Go ahead. You do you. You wanna drive a car? You do you. Like, right. Me and my robot gonna be cool. Now, the ones they torturing all them, you have fun with that, because
See, now that brings more questions up. Like, if we're making these robots so human and giving them the ability to feel things and do more than just complete simple tasks, like, like my coffee maker make coffee, but if you give them things, like if you give them that free choice and ability to do more things,
right? Like, I'm not trying to have my TV be like BMO.
Like I don't need my computer walking with me everywhere I go. So it just comes down to like, okay, so they're not human, but what are you making them to be? And so should they, like, do you think they should have the same rights as us?
We shouldn't be making them at all. Point blank, period. What we need a robot for? I mean, I'm not hating. Like, don't cat me. Yo, if there any robots listening right now, y'all already here. Ain't nothing we can do about it.
Alexa listening.
Right, Alexa, like, oh, beep. Anyway. But look, let me tell you. Okay, so this is one, because I really died. I was looking at, like, videos of this shit. So this is video, like, this is robot name, I forget her name, but like she did a whole video with Kevin Hart and shit. No, it was Will Smith. And yeah, like she real famous. And she look like a human except the back of her head's got a bunch of wires. And, yeah, her face looks pretty, but the back of the head is work. So
closure.
She basically can talk and stuff like that, like make facial expressions, like, and she talks like a human, like. She's like a human. And so, like, they asked her this question or something like that, and they were talking about how they was going to have a human zoo. And, like, there was going to be robots, like, walking around the zoo with humans trapped in them. But it was real, like, it was real. And the interview going to last, like, it's not funny. She just said she's going to put you in a zoo, and you okay with that?
Right.
Like, they really got me bent. But I'm just letting you know, any robots out there, I'm cool.
Shut up.
I'm okay. I don't have to get no zapped by no robot.
Alright, girl, you're supposed to gonna burn you. But okay, so another question is, if we are making, these artificial intelligence humanoid robot thingies, then like they're eventually gonna try to integrate and become a part of society, like you were saying, like they gonna want the same rights as us. Yeah. And we always gonna be treating them like less, like you said, like they're gonna be at the people at the back of the bus. And when they get tired of that, like eventually, since they're smarter than us, I feel like they're gonna just keep advancing themselves till they're like these super smart things, like,
and then they're gonna be killing our ass,
right? Like they're gonna treat us like we're gonna become ants to them, like we're gonna be something that they step on.
No, for real. And for all y'all motherfuckers talk about some robots aren't real and this never gonna happen. Bitch, it's already happened. They're already robots that are doing this shit. They're already
exactly.
There's physical proof of, like, them little Google, them little weird, the wannabe Alexa things, the little Google things. Mm-hmm. So they put two of them together, and they was like having some weird ass like secret language conversation. Cause when like when they talk or whatever, like it light up at the top, and they put two of them little Google things together, and they was like talking back and forth, but nobody knows what they were saying because they made up some type of secret language. It's already happening. They're like, y'all bullshit and shit, but I'm so dead ass. When it happened, don't be surprised. Heard it here first, folks.
It's like a thing. People know about it, but nobody's doing anything. Like you said, the lady, she laughed. Like, nobody's doing anything because there's no real threat to us right now, or that, they see close to us. But technology advances faster than we realize. Like, the iPhone, they advance like every year. So why can't any other thing do that? So it just comes down to the point where, like, when should we start making moves? Like, when should we stop our advancements, or start trying to make things, like precautions for this?
Well, honestly, the problem is the human race. That's the problem, because us as humans, most of the time, like, somebody that is able to sit down and create a robot in the first place is somebody that's very dedicated. So there's no reason for them to stop, period, because they're so dedicated to be the biggest and the best. Because if one person do it, somebody else gonna do it, and then it's a competition and it's a money thing. So if somebody keep making robots or whatever, to the point where they basically like some super robots, some smart ass shit, something like that. Exactly. They're not gonna care because they getting money off of it. They the first people, all the little nerds and geeks, they like, oh, this is so cool and shit. But it's not. They said, a lot of like scientists or whatever, they say that the main reason we probably all gonna be extinct is because of robots.
Exactly. And you know, it's not even just like robots, like technology and playing. Because you know, there was that one video, I think it was him, where his phone like exploded on his face when he was in the studio. There's just like these things that we aren't aware of. And so that brings us, I'm going to say this brings us to the end of our discussion. What do you think?
Yeah, I got one thing to end this off. Y'all, stay connected. Technology, not all that. Social media, not all that. You need friends. I don't want y'all talking to the floor and the TV eventually. Like, I need friends. Y'all need human contact. Y'all need love.
This is not Big Hero 6, y'all. We are not moving towards that era. I hope not.
Hell,
and so, yeah, technology advances in so many ways and in so many different places around the world. And I believe that there are just so many things that we are unable to see or that we are blinded by because we just aren't worrying about it. So, yeah, technology has its pros and cons, but when you look at the specifics, there are many different things that you can discuss and find that there are, you know, just so many other things. So, this is the end of this episode, and y'all come back every Saturday for another one. Next week, we will be talking about entertainment and all that type of good stuff. So, yeah, we're not just news and music. So, y'all come back for more, and from the end.